Let us now look at complete linkage approach to measuring distance. So same example. Okay, so we're going to only look at two variables which we have already normalized, and we're only going to look at top five observations. And we already have the distances calculated, and we start with each observation being a cluster of its own. So there are 5 clusters. So now complete linkage is to measure the farthest distance of all pairs of observations in each cluster. Now each cluster having just one observation each, then the distance between the two observations is the maximum linkage, complete linkage distance. Okay. So now once we have computed the distances, then select the two closest clusters. So the two closest clusters with complete linkage distances is it's the same as before, 0.76, which is Arizona and Commonwealth. Okay, so that's the one. So join them. So we have now Arizona, Commonwealth, and then Boston, Central, and Consolidated as the 4 clusters. So now we're going to repeat this. So first let's assemble the distances. So now we will rearrange the columns and rows so that the clusters will be together. So here Arizona, we don't need distances within the cluster, so we'll leave these cells blank. So now we have Boston to Arizona, and then we have, so this should be Commonwealth. So and then we need Boston to Commonwealth, Boston to Commonwealth, right? Then we need Central to Arizona, Central to Commonwealth, and Central to Boston, Boston to Central, and then Commonwealth to, this should be consolidated. So we have consolidated to Arizona, okay, consolidated to Commonwealth, so that would be that, and then consolidated to Boston, and consolidated to Central. Okay, so now these are the distances. Now we have the clusters, right? So the 4 clusters. Now we have Boston, Central, and Consolidated as the 3 clusters with just one observation, and then we have Arizona and Commonwealth. So let's now compute the complete linkage distance. Complete linkage distance is maximum between Arizona, between Boston and the two observations in the first cluster. And for central, the same. And then for consolidated, the same. Right? And then we need Boston to central, so that would be a single observation on both sides. And then we need Boston to consolidated. Okay, and then we need central to consolidated. Okay, so we don't need this. Now we have assembled the maximum linkage distances, right? So now the next step is to find the closest, the least distance between pairs is the minimum of all that. So here we get Boston, so that 1.01 is that one. So we get step 2, Boston and consolidated are the closest clusters based on complete linkage distance. Okay, so cluster 1 is that, cluster 2 is central, cluster 3 is Boston and consolidated.